Hello, hola, bienvenidos. As you guys can see from the title, today I'm doing a tag video. I've been seeing this going around and I was interested in doing it. I wasn't sure if it was something that you guys were interested in seeing, but I've seen some of my fellow content creators doing it, so I am actually very excited. I am holding my phone because I need to see what I'm reading, but this tag was created by Better Off Red and Kate the Great Beauty. I will link both of the ladies down in the description box. We have 17 questions, you guys, so this might take a hot minute. I'm gonna answer these as quick as possible. I've only skimmed through them, so I really haven't looked at them too much. But we're here for it, you guys. Look at me today. I feel like I'm in the 80s, don't I? Don't I look like I'm in the 80s? The weather is confusing me. Yesterday, 78. Today, 50. I don't know which way to go, which way to turn. Anytime I think of something, I'm always wrong. So I figured, why not go back in time and go in the 80s? Anyway, you guys are here for this tag, so let's get right into it. But first, if you're new, welcome. Alejandra. I go by Alex. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with an Ash Project pan. You want to see this? More on your feed? Then subscribe and join us here. And now let's get on with this tag. Guys, I feel so cool because I got one of these suckers. What are these called? Pop sockets or something? My sister got this for me. And now I'm finally feeling cool because my phone won't be sliding off my hand anymore. You have no idea how many times my phone slides off my hand because I don't hold it. So now that I have the questions here, let's get into it and let's get into some juicy tea. All right, question number 1. How do you feel about the term influencer, and do you feel you are one? This is something that I've been hearing for years being battled about. I will be honest up front. Anybody that is on this platform, on Instagram, on any type of social media where you have a following, any platform, you are an influencer, whether you like it or not. Even if it's something that you are posting that is so insignificant, like a beetle in a flower, you're still influencing somebody maybe to garden, to look more into insects, or to just look at wildlife. It doesn't matter what it is that you're posting, you are an influencer, whether you like it or not. Some of us fight it, but it is what it is. Some of us are more, I feel like there's different kind of influencers out there, but I think everyone is one. And even as much as I don't like that term, I really don't like that term, I have admitted that, yeah, I am one. Whether I'm here panning and using up my makeup, I'm still influencing somebody to do that. So does not matter what platform you are on. If you have some sort of following, you are an influencer. Question number 2, how did I decide to become a content creator? I've said this story many, many times. I started this when we had our first daughter, and she was relatively young. I was only working part-time at the time, and I found myself not doing stuff for me, like doing stuff that I enjoy, or because my time was more consumed into the family home and the family life and being a mom, that I wanted just an outlet for myself, something that I could do for me that was fun. And I've always been into makeup and beauty and fashion, but I've always been that closet kind where I didn't really stick out. And then when I found this platform, I literally decided in 6 months to get started. I didn't hesitate. I didn't wait. I've told you guys many times, I consider myself a risk taker with a lot of things, not everything, but when I like something, I'm full force. And I remember it was the summer of 2012. I discovered YouTube because my sister said, oh, why don't you check it out? Because I wanted to learn more hairstyles. And she told me to go on there, and I did, and that was the end of it. That summer, I decided I wanted to do it. By the following January, I already had posted my first video. So it took me 6 months to gather the small amount of equipment that I possibly could. Things were not as easily accessible and marketed as they are now. So I remember just filming on an old camcorder that I had. The ring light took 6 months to come in because there was only like one place I could find it that I could order it. And I used Windows. That was it. And Mr. Man had bought me a vanity that I still have in my basement till this day. Very small for the room that we were in at the time. And I just went for it, you guys. I went for it. Question number 3, what's your experience with knowing other creators in life, good or bad? I am, whether you want to call me a bad influencer or a content creator or not, I've never met anyone in person. Not one person, not even one that I don't have communication with. Like, you know, you have your friends on the platform, and then you have those that you follow, that you admire, you know, take tips and tricks from. I've never met anyone, not one person. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I do have a family. I do have kids that consume a lot of my time, a lot of my home life. You know, I put my family first. So I've never gone out to an event or been invited to an event or had the opportunity. The close few friends that I do consider real friends on this platform live far away. And unless I am actually traveling that way, I don't see them. So I've never actually met anyone in real life. Or do you accept sponsorships and how do you feel about them? I have personally never done a sponsorship as of yet. There's always a good and bad to anything in life. I respect those that don't want to do sponsorships, and I can understand why, but I also understand why some would do them, because if this is your job, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I feel like in the beginning, when sponsorships were new and certain people just gave a bad taste to them, it tainted it for everyone. But now that we have come a long way, I feel like sponsorships are a little bit more accepting because they're more forthcoming. You're going to know about it. And if you appreciate the influencer, I think we've gotten to this mindset where you as a viewer are in charge of your own decision. So whether you want to buy it or not, that's up to you. You are not forced to do it. So I'm not opposed to them. I've never had the opportunity yet to do it. It has to be a good one for me to get, though. I'm not just going to pick anything. It would have to be something that I enjoy, love, and will continue to use in order for me to put my stamp of approval on my name through it, if you know what I mean. Number 5, have you ever had an experience with a brand that left a bad taste in your mouth? Absolutely. I've actually had experience with a few brands. Recently, I actually had an experience with a very, very large brand that everyone loves. There was some sort of like, not to get into details, but I had asked certain questions about the campaign because of the contract that I was supposed to be signing, and I read everything. I have a business degree, so I'm very meticulous when it comes to reading things like that. And when I asked a few questions, they literally ghosted me. I don't think they liked the questions that I asked, and they were genuine. I was being honest. It wasn't like where I was being mean, but I was asking questions about the contract, and I think they just wanted me to just do it and shut up, basically. And I like to read my things and know what I'm getting myself into, especially if I'm signing something. So yeah, they ghosted me. Absolutely. There is also a brand that is no longer in existence. At least I have not heard of it since then, where I actually did a video where they sent me the product and I was honest and blunt in the video, and I actually didn't recommend the product. I didn't find it to be appropriate for a lot of individuals, and I wouldn't market it for like the younger crowd. And boy, did they come after me. They, not only was I being honest, but my viewers at the time, I don't know if some of them are still here, they agreed with me, and they themselves had tried it and didn't like it. And the brand came and attacked everyone in the comment section and then sent an email to me saying, how dare I? I was being honest. And I think, yeah, I haven't seen them since. That video no longer exists on my channel, by the way. So you can't even find it if you wanted to. But yeah, that was a very quick and my wake-up call when it came to accepting products for reviews. I was like, oh, no. One and done. It only takes me one time to learn my lesson. And since then, I've been very, very particular on who I accept to talk about on my channel. Okay, question number 6. How do you deal with negative comments? I actually laugh about them, you guys. Okay, I'm not saying that I've had the worst life ever. I don't. I'm very blessed. I am very thankful. I'm thankful to God that I have all the things that I have, but that's not to say that I haven't had a rough upbringing. I haven't had experiences in my life that have made me have thick skin. I have been verbally abused since a small age, and I'm not saying there goes my ring light. I'm not saying my parents particularly, but family members, extended family members, and even family members that have been brought in through other ways like marriages, or you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. I have been so verbally abused. There are things that have been told to me that if you would know, you probably punched the person. You'd be like, Alex, why are you still around? Why do you even still talk to this person? I mean, I've gone through so much that when it comes to negative comments on here, they really don't bother me. I've always had this saying that I have always said, and I live by it when it comes to my channel, is if I don't know you personally, I'm not taking it personally. I don't know you. It's okay. Say what you want to say. I will. My process for answering negative comments starts out with sarcasm, and I just want to but I take a minute. I genuinely take a minute because that's how I am in real life. I don't ever lash back at someone. I always think about what I say, because what I'm going to say is going to stay permanently with that person, and I don't want to regret my words. So I do take a minute before I comment back, but I will let you know what it is that I did not like and liked, and put you in your place in a nice way. I don't mess around with that stuff. I try not to get triggered, but I feel like it's like a thing since I've had it all my life that I have to take a step back and then I will answer. And if I don't care to answer, I will just delete your comment. I can care less. Number 7, what's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to comments? When people don't understand what constructive criticism is. I am all for helping me out to better myself, better my equipment, better the way I speak, the way maybe I do swatches, whatever the case may be. If I am here to help you guys to make better choices when it comes to purchases in the beauty community. So if I can change something for the better, absolutely. Alex, would you mind swatching them like this? Or maybe next time, if you can move it this way. That I have no problem with. I can't stand it, cannot stand it, and it's another one of my triggers when I see those ways of wording things where it's like, oh, you did your best, but, and it's always that little, but kind of thing, or like, well, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm not trying to call you out, but I cannot stand that. That is not constructive criticism. You are basically just attacking whoever it is that you're attacking. I can't stand that kind of stuff. Because if you were in front of my face, you would not say that. You would find a nicer way of saying things, or you would just move on. Just move on. You don't like me, you don't like my content, move on. There are millions of people on this platform. I'm not going to get upset. Trust me, I'm not going to get upset. Do what you got to do. I cannot. I just don't understand how people don't, because I get called out for words that I don't understand or the meaning of, but so you took the time to look at a definition for a word that I said wrong, or I put it in the wrong context, but you can't go look up what constructive criticism is and maybe learn how to use that. All right, let's get off that, shall we? Number 8, what is your favorite part of being a content creator, you guys? I used to hate, and I don't use the word hate often, but I genuinely hated editing. And then I decided to give it a try more, and I've seen the change not only in the growth of my channel, but in the excitement and the thrill of thinking of ways to edit it. So when I film videos, I'm myself. I'm never like scripted, and my goofiness and the editing that you see is genuine. I don't purposely make mistakes in order to be funny. It's just how I am. And that's how I am in real life. So that's how I come across. But after I'm done filming and I skim through my video or remember my video in my brain, I think of ways how to edit things to make it funny for you guys, to catch your attention and to have fun with my personality and what I'm bringing to the table. I'm a goofball in real life, so I've learned to accept that and show that more in my videos than I did years ago. Years ago, I thought you had to be like straightforward, monotone, very professional. Not to mention I had a job that was very professional, so That was my day job and that was my fun job. Now I've learned to separate both of them and I've had a lot more fun. So editing for me has become a lot more fun. I get into it more. I like to switch it up more. I feel like every quarter I try to switch things up, throw things in, figure out how to do this, look at videos. Like, I find editing a lot more fun. I'm nowhere near what other experts are, but I have seen the change and I have seen the engagement that I've gotten from that. Takes me hours, you guys, no joke. Like, a 12-minute video could take me 2-3 hours just to edit. That's not even to upload and do all the extra things. So that's why I try to keep it to 3 videos a week, because there's a lot that goes into editing if I want the final finished video to look the way I'm thinking that it does. So editing has become my best friend. I used to hate it, genuinely hate it. Now I actually enjoy it. Number 9, what is your least favorite part of content creating? I think the least part for me is the trouble that I have with technology. Overall, like, technology can be very frustrating. It's a fun thing and a very great thing to have, but oh my goodness, when your laptop is slow, or when you get kicked out of your editing software in the middle of something and you forgot to save where you were at, starting all over, the internet is freezing, it takes forever to upload something, you can't get into your analytics because it's down, that kind of stuff. To me, that's my least favorite thing, is the frustration that comes along with technology. It's a great thing, but the frustration, because I don't speak tech. I'm getting better at it. Like, I'm obviously, I know a lot more than others, but I'm nowhere near what an expert is. And it's frustrating to not understand what this machine is telling me that is wrong and how to fix it. So I think that's my least favorite part. It's just dealing with technology. Number 10, do you edit your own content? If so, do you enjoy it? I already answered that. You guys know that. Yes, I do. I ain't got nobody. Mr. Man could barely even scan up a page and email it. He just asked me how to do that, you guys. So I'm all on my own. Unless one of my 3 kids decides to be some sort of like computer techie, I am all on my own. 11, where do you draw the line in regards to sharing on social media? I've made this very clear, and you guys know I have not been quiet about it. I've been very upfront and blunt. I separate my family from my job, I guess you want to call it. I've done it as a normal 9-to-5 job. I do that here as well. I do share things, but I don't share a lot. That's where I have to draw the line there, because I want to protect my kids from as much as I can from the world, until I want to prepare them for what comes with the world. And I don't want to throw them in there naively and innocently. I want them to be kids. I want them to enjoy it. They're going to get into technology. They're going to get into social media. As much as I would rather not, that's just the norm of life now. And if I can hold off as long as possible, I am. None of my 3 children have found any interest in like doing, they know what I do, they see all this and they think it's fun, but none of them have actually showed interest in like wanting to be in a video or wanting to do anything. They're kids and they love to be outdoors, and I love that about them. So I don't want to do that. And Mr. Man, I've mentioned this before, he has no social media at all whatsoever. The man could care less about this. It's not something he wants at all. Like, he can just care less. We're not techie people, and he knows this, and he loves the fact that I respect that I have a separation. There's so much out there, and I don't want to put my kids in a position where I'm going to regret it in the future. So that's a decision that they can make as adults, but for now, as their mother and as obviously a wife, I want to keep my family to me. I'm being selfish and I'm keeping them to myself. I will share things, but I don't show my kids' faces or my husband's face. I do show Leo. Of course, he is my first son. He's the only one that I share most of the stuff with. But with my kids, I don't. I just like to keep that separated. I like to turn off the world. And what I mean by that is like social media and all that kind of stuff, and just be with my kids and enjoy my kids without having to feel like I need to post everything. So that's where I draw a line. Let's see. Number 12, name one thing you wish you knew when you were starting out. Holy crap. How much time you put into this, you guys. You only see a little bit 3 times a week from me personally and what you see on social media, like on my Insta stories. But my goodness, you guys, the time and the energy that I put into this channel, like there's moments where I'm like, why am I even bothering? Why do I take up so much time? I don't get paid so much for this. I don't get that much, growth in this. Like I constantly get these moments in the year where I just stall and I don't grow. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? There's so much to running a channel, and not to mention anything else, like any other social media platform, that it's a lot. It's a lot. This isn't something where if you're going to get into it, unless you're doing it like here and there, it just takes a lot of time. And no one ever mentions that, because when I started, it wasn't even a thing where you got paid for. So it was just something quick, easy, fun. There was not that much things to go with it. Now it's a whole different monster. But there's a lot of time and energy. A small photo that I post on Instagram could take me so long just to do. It's a lot of time, a lot of time. 13, is there any change you'd like to make to your content in the future? Yes, there will come a point where project panning will no longer be a thing for me. I've evolved many times as I've been on this platform. Next year, I am going to have my 10th year anniversary of being on this platform. And since I started to now, I'm a whole different person in my real life, as well as my content that I bring to you guys. And I think that there's going to come a point where project panning won't be my main thing that I do, and I may be evolved to something else. I don't know. I still love it till this point, but I know that there will come a point where either I don't have enough products to project pan, or I just don't find it fun anymore. And I'd rather just, I don't know, do something else on here. We'll see, you guys. 14, what company collab is your dream? You guys, I've never actually thought of this. I've never sat down and thought like, oh, I'd love to do this, I'd love to do that. There are so many amazing things out there. Obviously, it'd be eyeshadow, but there's so many out there that are just amazing, that I don't know. I honestly, this question, I have no idea, because I've never thought about it. I've never saw myself in that position. Not that I don't think I could do it. It's just, there's just so much makeup out there that I don't see collabs as often either. So I don't know. 15, what other creator do you admire or want to work with? There are so many people out there. I don't particularly have anybody in mind, just my peers, those that I really enjoy and follow and enjoy all their videos from. Maybe there's too many to mention, but nobody in specific. Nobody that I would say, "Ooh, I really want to work with them." Nope, nobody really. Nobody in particular, I should say. There are a lot of people, but nobody in particular. 16, what kind of content do you hate? Here's that word, hate. Any content that I don't like, I don't watch. So I don't know, because I don't watch it. See what I mean? I know there's a lot of communities out on this platform, but I don't watch what I don't like. I think that should be like the rule of thumb. Like, you know how like that saying, don't say nothing. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. If you don't like the content, don't watch it and leave a hateful comment or a thumbs down because you don't like the content. It should be a golden rule on this platform. I don't know, because I don't watch it. 17, and last question, you guys. Have you ever had to deal with a cancel culture, and if so, how? I'm going to try to be as, I don't want to say too much because I don't want this to be a soapbox thing, but I don't like the witch hunt. That's how I call it. I don't call it cancel culture. I call it the witch hunt. I feel like there is a time and place where certain things should not happen, and there should be a moment where we should not support it to have it stop. But I feel like it's gone past that. The whole concept of it has become this blown up thing, and I feel like most, and I shouldn't say everyone should fall into this. I feel like some people just forget empathy, compassion, forget that some of us just make mistakes. And there are certain people that I feel like hold this grudge and this hatefulness towards people that make a genuine mistake, and when they try to build themselves back up from this mistake, they are just there attacking them and punching them, and it doesn't matter what the person or the company does, they're just beating them up. But I always think like, don't you realize that you're also not perfect? You yourself have made mistakes. We're all not perfect. And we all make mistakes ourselves. The only difference is that you're not on social media, but these individuals or companies are. So they're in the limelight and you're not. So you're attacking somebody for something, but you forget that you also have done something, and wouldn't you want a second chance? And I feel like that has been lost when it comes to canceled culture. We forget to give people a second chance. Now, obviously, if the second chance is burned, then obviously that person is doing it on purpose, or doing whatever it is that they're doing. The company's doing it on purpose, and they're just being whatever it is that they want to be. But I do feel like those that have made big mistakes, or noticeable mistakes, I should say, noticeable mistakes, they are already branded. They're already marked, and that's the end of that. I don't care what they do. I don't care what you do. It is. And then the worst part is that when those individuals feel that way, misery loves company. They want to engulf as many people as they can to validate their feelings. So then they keep trying to grab more people. And if those people don't feel that way, they're afraid to say it because now they're going to get canceled. And it's so unfair. I keep my views to myself. I don't need to tell anyone on the internet how I feel or what I'm doing or what I'm saying. It's none of your business. It's flat out. I'm sorry to be blunt, but it is. It's none of your business. What I do for me is for me. You don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes to help the cause or whatever it is that's going on, or if I can't keep up with so much. I just can't. I don't know who's getting canceled, who did what, because I don't fish out for that information. I'm not out here purposely trying to find the next fallen emperor, you know what I mean, to hate on and to attack and to post a bunch of crap on. Like, that's just not me. I've never been that way in real life. I'm not going to do it on here. I keep it separate. And you have to keep it separate. At least my personal view on it, I have to keep it separate to keep myself sane, to keep my sanity. Because, oh my goodness, it can get exhausting. It can get exhausting. All right, you guys. I is done. My camera stopped recording in this last question because I went over 30 minutes. I knew this was going to be a long video, you guys. So I tried to make it as quick as possible. I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to answer any of these questions, I'll leave them down in the description box and let me know what your thoughts are on these. I really, this was kind of like therapy session for me. Therapy session for a content creator. All right, you guys. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.